You don't want him here anyways.
He's going.
He's coming. You don't have a say.
But then Vernon makes the big mistake. He says he's not paying for some crackpot old fool to teach him magic tricks.
And if there's one thing you don't do, you don't you don't pick on Dumbledore in front of Hagrid.
No, you don't. Hagrid's got his back. He's not gonna let that slide. He's not letting it fly. And he goes at him.
Never insult Albus Dumbledore in front of me. I love the way it's accented. Because you can tell he's like whipping that fucking umbrella around.
It's one of my favorite moments in the book. It is. It is one of my favorite. And funny though, he then doesn't point at Vernon, but at Dudley. And he casts a spell or a curse. I'm not sure exactly what you would call it. They don't really call it anything, but there's a flash of violet light and it sounds like a firecracker. And then Dudley's on the floor. And then dancing around, holding his fat little bottom and howling in pain. And then you see a curly pig's tail poking through the hole in his trousers.
Okay, and here is the split. Either Hagrid is being very, very mean to this fat little boy for no reason, or he's been watching and knows Dudley's a mean little asshole.
Little prick.
And is paying him back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he says afterwards that he meant to turn him into a pig, but he already resembled so much of a pig, there wasn't much more to change.
Right, but like you were just saying, if he was eating a cake and fat, that would make a lot. Eating Harry's cake, like the maybe that's why they put that in the movie, because otherwise it just makes Hagrid out to be kind of an asshole to him, like
a little
like
kid.
a fat shamer, kind of like fat, and I'm gonna make him a pig.
And then Hagrid tells him, try and keep that on the DL. Not supposed to be doing that. And he asks him, why aren't you supposed to do magic? And he kind of, stumbles, around and says he got expelled in his 3rd year and they snapped his wand in half. I feel like that would just make anybody cry. That just sounds so horrible. But doesn't really get into detail, and we'll find out later, but why specifically he was expelled. Just that he did, and that's kind of where he leaves it at.
Why isn't Hagrid any smarter than he is, considering he's been at the school his whole life?
Oh, good question. Well, he wasn't really taking classes.
He hasn't been allowed to take classes.
Yeah. I think, and that's why, getting into this, why he defends Dumbledore with such honor, because Dumbledore kind of saved his behind a little bit and was like, you're expelled, but let's get you a job here and get you something going on.
I am later, if we end up doing this longer than just the one book, I am going to want to delve deeper into the timeline a little bit more of Hagrid. Because they mentioned a couple groundskeepers in the course of the books. Harry's parents' timeline and, like, the teacher's timeline. They all have different groundskeepers. And Hagrid at some point is, like, a 13-year-old with no home, apparently, because he's been expelled. And he gets to stay at Hogwarts and eventually becomes the groundskeeper, but that doesn't happen for, like, right away. So sorry,
No, that's true. That's valid.
That's a little sneak peeker for later. Something that I've been thinking about for a long time. And I would like to find some answers to that. I haven't delved deep enough to figure them out.
Hagrid.
It's getting late. That's what he says.
Yeah.
Like it is.
Just trying to blow off the topic. They've got lots to do tomorrow. They're going into town to get his things.
And he takes off his coat and he gives it to Harry and he's like, you can have that. Don't mind if it wiggles. It's got some mice in one of the pockets. And I think it's fun because he was so cold. Now he gets this giant coat with all this crap in it to hang out on.
And possibly mice. I would be a little jeebed out.
Oh, no, I wouldn't take the coat after that. I would take the cold, but that's
coat would be
nice
back
idea.
off. Good gesture.
No, thanks.
Yep, good gesture.
I don't want your mouse coat.
Actually, could you leave it outside? That would be nice.
And that's kind of where we're ending it, because that's where the chapter ends. chapter 4 there.
You want some more?
We're going to drink some more wine here, folks, and we'll leave you guys with more questions just like we have. And when we dive back in on our next episode of Chapter 5, we hope to have some more answers. I hope. Or more questions.
Hope.
We will definitely have more wine.
Possibly beer. Possibly rum and coke. If you haven't gotten the gist yet, people, we're drinkers. It's fine.
Thanks for listening.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for listening. If you've stuck with us this far, we appreciate you. So, here's some more.
Cheers
guys. We're out. So that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed us going through that rather calmly at times. If you would like to continue the conversation, you can reach out to us at podcastatt@gmail.com. And if you want, you can also find us on social media. Facebook, we are podcastatt. And on Twitter and Instagram, we are podcast_ATT. And if you're interested in helping us grow, you can also visit our Patreon page. We'll see you real soon.